Hello and welcome to New Filmmakers Los Angeles in partnership with Movie Maker magazine. My name is Danny DeLillo. We're here at the South Park Center. I'm delighted to be joined with Nathan with his movie, The Scarf. Let's take a look at the clip.
小慧儿，快开门！你奶奶都已经走了3个月了，你不能总把自己锁在屋子里面啊！明天啊，这工人就把家具都搬走了。
Nathan, firstly, welcome to the New Filmmakers LA family, and we're so grateful that you brought your film to us. So thank you so very much.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for choosing my film.
Yeah. Oh, what a journey. My goodness. As I said last night, I said it was sentimental and I was also scared at the same time. But those that haven't seen your film, tell us a little bit about it.
So basically The Scarf is just it's this drama kind of short that shows this entire journey of a Chinese girl coping with the trauma of losing her grandmother. And yeah, that's pretty much it actually. It's
With a few
short.
twists and turns in
Yeah,
there
with
as
a
well.
few turns in the middle, and there's
Yeah.
some supernatural elements in the film, but
Yeah, no, you were really clever with the supernatural elements. I didn't know where you were going to take me next, Nathan. Where did this inspiration for the story come about? I know you love this particular genre, but where did that kind of moment for you to devise a story?
yeah, like I always like horrors. Like the very, very original intention of making this film was to make a horror film. Like I wanted to make it. But then I wrote the script. It's also about generational conflicts. But it's more about the conflicts between the daughter and her parents.
Yeah.
But then I wrote the script. It never worked for me. I don't feel like it's scary enough. I don't feel like the story worked for me. So I went back and then I used that as a backstory or something, and then tried to develop a new script. And then it's just I grew up with like a lot of family members, and I grew up with my grandparents and everything. So it was nice. So I was just thinking about like, what if I tell this story about the granddaughter and the grandmother, but at the same time, again, like, a lot of us have experienced this, like this trauma of losing someone we have
Yeah.
loved, especially our family members. So what can I do to kind of bring this onto the screen, but at the same time, merging some of the elements that I'm interested in
Yeah.
into the film, because I don't want to just get rid of the horror elements completely, and I don't have any intention of making it a horror film anymore. But I
Yeah.
would love to keep some of the elements and see how I can do with it. So then, like, again, the slippers.
Yeah.
At that moment, the slippers kind of came in, and I thought, like, it's such a interesting. I mean, every old person has this kind of slippers in their
Yeah,
house,
exactly. Yes.
right? So what if I can make it move? What if I can make it, alive, and then see if the granddaughter kind of develops this relationship with the slippers, like human and objects.
Yeah.
And then I feel like this relationship is the core of the film. And then I would love to explore a lot more about it. And there I started writing the script and developing it.
Nathan, those subtleties that you had that kept those supernatural elements, like they were eerie. I was like, oh my goodness me. Like it was insane. And it was amazing how you sort of took us from this sentimental moment between, the granddaughter and grandmother and that kind of experience. But then like you had the slippers and even just the sound of just the knitting. I was like, oh my goodness. So you kept those moments in and it really balanced really, really well. Bringing your cast together, how was that experience for you, Nathan?
The casting was straightforward, but at the same time, there were a lot of issues in the middle because simply, like, I didn't came with a background of films. Like, I went to like a college, but still, it was hard to find actors who's willing to act in the film. A friend of mine recommended her to me. She's a freshman and she's great. And then so I asked her, like, do you want to just come and talk? Let's do like a very short kind of cast. Let's do a very short audition. And then like I was fascinated by it, and that's how I got her. But then like and all the other people, you know, the person who was speaking on the phone was my dad.
Oh, really?
And I was all the way in Abu Dhabi and he was all the way in China. So I basically recorded the sound through the phone so I don't have to go through this
Wow.
whole post-production process to make it sound like it's from the phone. And also like the delivery people and every other people, you know, they're my friends, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, like
So you was in Abu Dhabi and he was in China.
yeah, he
You're,
was
oh,
in China. And then making a film about China's. Yeah, that's another whole story about.
and you shot it here. You shot it here, obviously, as well.
No, I shot it in because I did my undergrad in NYU Abu Dhabi.
Uh-huh.
So it was the campus was in UAE in Abu Dhabi.
Oh.
So I shot it there. So we built the set. Like the school has
Amazing.
this small soundstage, so we built the set from the
Wow.
scratch. So yeah.
What an amazing experience. I mean, you know, as you kind of alluded to, there was obviously a few elements in there that would that may have required you know, a little bit of vision in terms of the supernatural elements. What were some of the bigger challenges you had in making this film, if there was any?
There were quite a lot. Like I said, like I think yesterday, I think the biggest challenge I had was just to figure out how to make it move, and make it convincible. You know, make it believable. Because like I
Mhm.
can't just shoot just extreme close-ups of the slippers moving. I want the audience to see like, you know, in a wider shot,
Yeah.
see the actually the slippers are moving. That way, I feel like it would be more believable on the
Yeah.
screen. So yeah, like it took me some efforts, but actually the ending results was really simple. Like the tricks we used was really simple. I thought about stop motion. I thought about, you know, a lot of those strategies, but then, you
Yeah.
know, we figured out and we used the simplest method to make it
Yeah.
move.
Yeah. It was so effective
Yeah.
though, the way you did it.
Yeah, it was. I was surprised by it because like I was not sure how it would work. Even right before the shoot, right before we were taking those shots, and I was sitting behind the screen. I was, you know, I was really surprised by it. I was like, this actually worked, and I'm actually convinced by the fact that the slippers are moving. So that was one of the biggest challenges I had with the production, for sure. And also with the script writing, for sure. Like changing from one genre to another, you know, just take the original script away and then start from scratch and try to think about it, try to reconstruct the entire script, but using the same character. It was a pretty big challenge for me as well. It took me quite some time to change the scripts, even right before the production. I took a lot of feedback from, of course, my professors and also the actress herself. She's a huge role in it. I talked to her a lot, and then like the ending of the film was actually from her. The ending of the film was not originally this.
Really?
I had another idea for the ending, but then she's like, it makes sense, but still like maybe like, but what if you change? What if you swap the positions of the last two scenes? Like what are you gonna feel? And then like I swapped it, and I feel like, oh, this actually makes more sense.
Oh, I
So
see.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's constantly reconstructing the script at the same
Yeah.
time.
Oh, you gave us a sneak peek to some of the moments that you had, but listen, it all worked out beautifully in the end. I was actually in the room last night when I was watching your film, and I was really enjoying the audience reaction to your film. Like because I mean, yours is fun because one moment they're in it because it's, you know, they're hearing, seeing the sense of the story and this relationship, and the next minute you're like thrown us into this, you know, strange feeling. How has the experience been sharing this with an audience? How's that been for you?
Well, of course, it's nervous. It's one of, you know, I think this is actually the first time I showed the film outside of the schools
Oh, okay,
screenings
really?
and theaters and
Wow.
stuff. So yeah, it was definitely nervous because I don't know how people are gonna react, for sure. But yeah, like it was nice, you know.
Yeah.
I feel like the theater was quiet
Yeah.
simply because I wasn't paying too much
Yeah,
attention
just yeah,
because I
yeah.
was kind of nervous about it. But
Yeah,
yeah, I'm
well,
glad that, you know,
no,
somebody enjoyed
yeah,
it.
because I mean, and as well, like you made a story that, you know, and sadly it's hard, but we're all going to experience loss in our lives, and you know, and I think from a younger person's perspective and the relationship with their grandma was you know, really nice to often kind of see that generational mix. Sometimes it's usually just the mother or something, but it was nice to sort of see this, like, you know, flow out. What would you say that, like, making this project, now that you've made it, kind of thing, like, and obviously this is part of being in your school, like, what have you learned mostly from this project, and any advice to filmmakers that you would share about, you know, kind of this experience?
Yeah, So what I learned, this is my very first fiction film ever. I mean, of course, I did exercising
Yeah,
classes and
yeah, but
everything, but
still,
this is
well
the very
done.
first fiction film I made. I made documentaries before, but it was a whole new experience of pulling together, like, I don't know, 20 people
Yeah.
and live with 20 of my friends and then start figuring out everything. So I guess, of course, first of all, making those instant decisions on set, that's definitely like one of the biggest lessons I've learned, because a lot of the plans we did, we spent a lot of time making plans, but a lot of the plans we did didn't really work out, especially
Uh-huh.
for the set decoration of the grandma's bedroom.
Okay, okay.
A lot of things happened. The original plan wasn't working, so we had to figure out another plan on set and then redesign the entire shot.
Oh, got you. To think on your feet.
Yeah, just to
Yeah.
think over there, because sometimes it just doesn't work.
Yeah.
And and it's just making those instant decisions on set, and sometimes those decisions can be very surprising, and they're surprisingly better
Yeah.
than what I
Yeah.
thought about before.
That's always a
Especially,
pleasant surprise.
yeah, especially that second last scene where she finds the scarf.
Yes.
That was completely redesigned on set, and that ended up becoming one of my favorite parts of the film. So that was really, really surprising. And also at the same time, I think the second one I would say is just to listen to my crew members as well.
Yes.
A lot of the shots, a lot of the decisions also came from them. So I really want to give them credits for that. I'm not the only person who made this film. Is a collaborative
Yeah, it's a collaborative team effort as
team
well.
efforts. My
Yeah.
cinematographer and also a production designer and a lot of people, even a camera assistant, they all throw their ideas to me because we were friends before making the film. So that was really nice. Like their ideas sometimes are better than mine, and I shouldn't be the only person who's making the decision.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess that's.
I mean, it's so wonderful as well because, Nathan, you've obviously, you're from China. You went and studied in UAE, here in the United States. Like, do you enjoy traveling, like making projects? Is that something that you'd like to continue to do in your career?
Of course.
Yeah.
That's definitely I just want to travel to different places and
Yeah.
meet different kinds of people,
Yeah.
experience different things as well. But for some reason, I chose to make a Chinese film in another country.
I love it, and well done for foreigners, because I mean, your goodness, it's not always easy as well to make a film in a different country about a different country. So you did a really, really, really good job, and travel's such an important part of being an artist and a filmmaker. So yeah, I'm looking forward to wherever you're taking us next to. What is next for you, Nathan?
I'm studying here
Yeah.
in LA right now. So of
Amazing,
course
man.
I'm making films constantly. I want to do a bit more fictions, but I'm currently developing like a second short that's talking about similar themes, but at the same time it focuses more on the Chinese funeral traditions as well. I'm currently doing research on it. I'm
Insane.
trying to do some interviews, so I can see this project going into two different directions. So I have a short film based on the researches with the scripts that I'm ready to develop, and have another documentary with the interviews with all the research I did. So I'm currently developing both, and hopefully I can bring both of them.
Oh, amazing.
the
No, well,
audience in the
listen, wherever you take us next, please bring your film to us. And if everyone was wondering where the star of the film, the scarf is safely in China. I was hoping it's going to be here. But beautiful scarf it is too, by the way. But no, thank you so much for this vision, and keep doing what you're doing, where you're like making me scared out of my seat unexpectedly, because you've got the knack, and that was all that work you put into those intricate details really, really paid off. So thank you very much. But no, thank you so much, Nathan. Keep bringing more films to us, and thank you so much for bringing the scarf.
Thank you.
Thank you, Nathan.